and thank you for joining us on the news on NTA International. I am Lami Ali. First, let's take the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari orders interface between federal government and labor movements on the state of the economy. New partnership for Africa's development to empower smallholder farmers to ensure food security. Plus, INEC promises to replace card reader machines destroyed by a fire ahead of Ondo State governorship election. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, to meet with the organized labour to hear their grievances on the state of the economy and its impact on the nation's populace. The minister announced this to State House correspondents after an audience with the President on the labour situation in the country and state of affairs in his ministry.
In the country. So, Mr. President, I've been briefed and he's in tune and given the support for us to talk to everybody that needs to be talked to. So the invitation is going out to them this afternoon. The Nigerian Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, and their affiliates, supporters and friends in the CSO, civil society. So the meeting is scheduled for tomorrow. The meeting is hoped that government finances, challenges, and everything will be laid bare on the table. Their own fears and what they think is also good for the Nigerian people, especially the workers, they will also table it so that we look at it.
And the Joint Health Sector Workers Union is to present the outcome of the conciliatory meeting to its members for consultation and get back to government by Saturday, the 12th of September. This resolution was reached in Abuja after hours of meeting. Both parties resolve that the Ministry of Health implements some of the grey areas identified, while the Office of the Accountant General is to consider the names of those not captured for the COVID-19 hazard allowances in order to be factored in the June payments, as well as those who suffered from salary shortfall.
I adjourned our main meeting
the 15th.
to 15th of October.
Yes.
They enabled the Federal Ministry of Health to carry out the assignments given to them in 4 weeks and use the subsequent week to report back at the meeting of 15th of October.
Although we still have some fundamental fallouts that requires further consultation with our members, we believe we'll get back to government with the position of the powerful neck that mandated us to give the ultimatum by Saturday.
In the meantime, the Senate Committee on Industry, Trade and Investment has called on the management of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission to decentralize its focus by promoting investment potentials abound in rural areas in Nigeria. This was part of the recommendations of the Parliamentary Committee when it visited the headquarters of the Investment Commission. Ignatius Nkwo reports.
It's been 2 days of parliamentary oversight by the Senate Committee on Industry, Trade and Investment. The urgent need to showcase the many investment points across states and local governments in Nigeria was a major concern for the committee when it visited Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission.
Go to the village and make promotion to the village. There are a lot of producers there. They don't have the opportunity. The bureaucracy will not allow them to even access Abuja.
To achieve this book of states, we got each one of the 36 state governors to sign off on the page for their state. It shows the investment opportunities in that state.
The Commission observed that it has commenced the second phase of the reforms of administrative procedures of Pioneer Status Incentive, which seeks to encourage the establishment and growth of industries in Nigeria.
If it is, then you need to propose to us that you need an amendment to your act so that we can make sure it's a law thing.
At the Corporate Affairs Commission, the Registrar General informed the committee that it has decentralized its business registration procedures with various ongoing innovations as it contributed 1.12 billion naira to the Federation account between June and 10th of September 2020 as operating surplus.
You can register from anywhere and you get your certificate every state.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is to indicate the point of connection.
The committee believes that if the Commission partners with the Ministry of Information and Culture, it will achieve the needed publicity for its innovations.
Walai Mohammed is doing a lot for the government. And you must even incorporate him, his office, with what we are doing.
The Commission hopes to achieve at least 80% of its revenue target for 2020 fiscal year. In Abuja, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Farmers associations have applauded President Buhari on the instruction to the Central Bank of Nigeria not to release foreign exchange to food importers. A statement by National President, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kabir Ibrahim, says farmers are happy with the decision to continue to support smallholder farmers to enable them upscale their production of food crops nationwide. He says the move will as well enable the realization of the much-desired food security in the country. Other commodity associations, including maize and rice, are also confident that the soaring prices of food crops being experienced is largely due to the perennial off-season reasons and will definitely subside around November when new crops will be available. The associations are appreciative of the President's decision to compensate farmers who suffered flooding recently. The Nigerian farmers have resolved to work assiduously to bring about food sufficiency and ultimately food security to Nigeria as a reciprocal gesture to the President's uncommon support to Nigeria's agriculture. And still on agriculture, thousands of smallholder farmers in Nigeria are to benefit from an agricultural initiative by the new Partnership for Africa's Development, NEPAD, towards cushioning the effect of COVID-19 on food security. National Coordinator, African Union Development Agency and NEPAD, Gloria Kubundu, stated this at a meeting in Abuja with Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak and other key players in the project. Mitari Ikben reports.
Challenges of smallholder farmers in Nigeria, which range from inadequate farming inputs to lack of capital to increase agricultural productivity and income, were compounded by the COVID-19 pandemic. The choice of Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak as Chairman National Steering Committee on Strengthening Smallholder Farmers in Nigeria, an initiative of the African Union Development Agency, necessitated this meeting with key players to fine-tune implementation strategies.
Over 90% of the farmers in Nigeria are smallholders, and that is the target. Now, in terms of benefit, the whole idea is to make subnational governments committed. How do you commit somebody? Make him part of it by providing counterpart funding. It shows seriousness to the project.
They need the enabling environment, they need the land reclamation, they need the startup pack, they need seedlings, they need to be trained, they need to be monitored, and they also need to be provided with drying pods, storage, and then, if possible, train them on the processing, preservation, packaging, and then the market, which is export.
The National Steering Committee for the African Union Initiative to Boost Agricultural Productivity and Food Security in Nigeria has representatives from 2 states in each geopolitical zone, as well as the Central Bank of Nigeria and Bank of Agriculture as development partners. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Ministry of Transportation has constituted a committee to draw up guidelines for the disbursements of the 10 billion naira federal government palliative fund for road transport operators and workers. Minister of State Transportation, Senator Bamishola Saraki, disclosed this when she received the president of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Professor Tajuddin Ibikunle Lawal, in her office in Abuja. The minister stated that members of the committee are drawn from the Ministry of Transportation and all other relevant stakeholders in the transportation sector. She urged the unions to interface towards having one recognized body that the ministry can deal with so that the funds can be disbursed as soon as possible. Now to health matters. World Health Organization and Africa Center for Disease Control launch COVID-19 laboratories network as United Nations urges countries to source $15 billion to fund the accelerator program. Let's join Uche Gochuku on the global COVID-19 update.
The World Health Organization and the African Center for Disease Control have launched a new laboratory network that will reinforce the genome sequencing of coronavirus in Africa. The initiative seeks to study the possible mutations of the virus in order to prepare better responses in public health. The African continent now has 1,337,676 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 32,196 fatalities. Nigeria in the last 24 hours recorded 5 deaths and 197 new cases, bringing the country's total positive cases to 55,829 and 1,075 deaths. Elsewhere, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has appealed to countries to source $15 billion in the next 3 months to fund the ACT Accelerator Program, which is a WHO-led global collaboration to hunt for a COVID-19 vaccine and treatments. New estimates in the UK show coronavirus infections have increased in recent weeks. The government's latest reproduction number is between 1 and 1.2, and a study of thousands of people in England found cases doubling every 7 to 8 days, with a marked rise in the north and among young people. India has reported another record daily jump of 96,551 coronavirus cases, which is also the highest global daily increase, taking its caseload to 4.5 million. Similarly, Greece, France, and Palestine also reported a record number of daily coronavirus cases. The global tally on odometer coronavirus dashboard as at 6 p.m. Nigerian time is 28,417,458, while 915,164 lost their lives to the disease. That's it from here. I am Uche Ugochukwu.
Americans are commemorating 9/11 with tributes that have been altered by coronavirus precautions and woven into the presidential campaign, drawing both President Donald Trump and Democratic challenger Joe Biden to pay respect at the same memorial without crossing paths. In New York, a dispute over coronavirus safety precaution is leading to split-screen remembrances Friday, one at the September 11 Memorial Plaza at the World Trade Center and another on a nearby corner. The Pentagon's observance will be so restricted that not even victims' families can attend, though small groups can visit the memorial there later in the day. September 11, 2001 was the day when the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center were destroyed following the activities of terrorists who hijacked 2 commercial airlines. You're watching the news on NTA International. Time to take a short break now. We will be back with more reports.
When you get Showmax, you get instant access to full seasons of award-winning series and blockbuster movies.
It's amazing.
You get shows you won't find anywhere else, like Showmax Originals. You get awesome kids shows.
Freaking awesome.
Amazing dockies.
You literally cannot make this up.
And now, you also get world-class sport from Super Sport.
Everything's under control.
All ready and waiting for you to watch online on your smartphone, tablet, desktop, or smart TV, wherever and whenever you like.
Whoa.
So what are you waiting for? Go to showmax.com to sign up. From football seasons to binge-worthy seasons, you'll get it all on Showmax. One platform, endless entertainment.
Thank you for joining us again. Preparatory to efficient adjudication on electoral issues that may arise from the Edo and Ondo governorship elections, the judiciary is set to reinstill public confidence and uphold the rule of law. Justices and judges from across the country converged in Abuja for a one-day workshop organized by the Court of Appeal. President of the court, Justice Monica Dongban-Memsem, asked the judicial officers to live up to their oath of office and dispense justice according to law. Judiciary correspondent Vera Choba has more.
This workshop is premised on the fact that an effective judiciary safeguards the democratic process and enforces the rule of law. Therefore, a lucid understanding of the provisions of the law with respect to electoral matters will aid in obviating the technicalities that constitute the bane of justice. The workshop is to further broaden institutional knowledge base, competence and capacity of judicial officers to adjudicate on electoral matters likely to arise from Edo and Ondo governorship elections. President, Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Dongban-Memsem, appealed to judges to apply the law without fear or favor in their adjudication. She asked them not to be discouraged for lack of proper appreciation of their work.
Ours is to look dispassionately at the facts placed before us and to decide in accordance with the law what we see and declare what we see as it is.
Justice of the Supreme Court, John Inyang Okoro, reminded them that election petition tribunals are set up to ensure that people do not take the law into their hands. He asked them not to manufacture their own laws, but to strictly apply the provisions of the law.
Beware of politicians and lawyers who will come and dance around you. Don't allow them to dance around you. They are not for your good. They are seeking their own good.
President, National Industrial Court, Justice Benedict Kaipi, implored the judges to put in their best. The workshop is part of efforts by the judiciary to ensure effective dispensation of justice to all persons. In Abuja, Vera Choba, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission says it will embark on massive map-up to ensure prompt reconfiguration for the October 10th governorship elections in Ondo State. INEC National Commissioner in charge of Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, gave the update on last night's fire incidents at the Ondo State INEC office in Akure. Olajide Bello has details.
The inferno, which lasted for about 2 hours, took the combined efforts of the Federal Fire Service from the airport in Akure and Ilesha Command due to the inability of the Ondo State Fire Service. In the early hours of Friday, 11th, the fire had been totally put out with remnants of Tokad rulers escorting the landscape. The INEC office.
It's alarming. I got in there, to my dismay, the only thing I saw was people filming and sending this on social media. There was just a little firefighter truck there, which was far below containing what it entails.
On its part, INEC says the Ondo State governorship elections will still hold.
What we intend to do, based on some of these challenges we have, is to mop up smart card readers from the other contiguous states in order to make up for the total number that we have lost. So if we just take smart card readers from 2 of the states that do not have any form of election during this particular period, we are going to recover.
Preliminary investigations by the police to prevent future occurrence have commenced. In Akure, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And as a way of ensuring proper coordination of security arrangements towards a hitch-free election in the forthcoming governorship election in Edo State, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has deployed police chiefs to supervise the general security arrangements for the election. Deputy Inspector General of Police Adele Olushola Oyabadi will be assisted by other security chiefs. Oyabadi will superintend over the entire security architecture and ensure effective monitoring of the election and due enforcement of all electoral laws in the state. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police has barred security aides attached to VIPs and political appointees from accompanying their principals on the election day. The IGP warns that anyone who flouts this order will be severely reprimanded. Over 70% of schools earlier occupied by the Nigerian Army as military base for counterinsurgency operations in the northeast have been handed over to the civil authority. The Acting General Officer commanding 7th Division Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Abdul Khalifa, announced this as the interactive session with members of Education in Emergency Working Group in Maiduguri, Borno State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has the details.
Education is often described as a tool for socio-economic development, yet this agent of change and transformation is the major target for the activities of terrorists that have ravaged the Northeast for over a decade. The Safe School Declaration is a global intergovernmental political commitment that provides countries like Nigeria opportunity to express support for protecting students, teachers and schools from attack during armed conflicts. Members of the Education in Emergency Working Group are at the headquarters 7th Division Nigerian Army in Maiduguri to seek ways to further mainstream the implementation of the declaration in the various theater of operations under the division to further secure schools.
We are very passionate about making sure that our education is not under attack. And this is actually coming from the Safe School Declaration that was signed by the President.
The document, the Army notes, is in line with its existing rules of engagement, civil-military relations practice, and the rule of law it seeks to promote during operations.
This conflict that we're managing is a peculiar one, based on the fact that it has its foundation on the distaste for Western education. Thank God we've turned around that narrative. It will be gladdening to know that for the first time in the past 6 years, WAEC successfully held West African School examination in Chibok, with us providing security.
We operate in compliance with law of armed conflict and deep respect for human rights. And the SND is entirely on human rights.
Nigeria is among the first group of 37 countries that have endorsed the United Nations Charter on Safe School Declaration, a document that has been domesticated, particularly in northeast Nigeria, an area ravaged by insurgency for over a decade. From the headquarters 7th Division Nigerian Army in Maiduguri, Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In sports news now, English Premier League clubs set for battle for the 2020-2021 season as NTA concludes plans to transmit Fulham versus Arsenal match live on Saturday. Bode Adele has details on our sports update.